move against hate speech, religious killings. We will ride on APC's failure to capture Ogun, according to the NNPP chair. Politicians must de-emphasize religion in campaigns, and this is coming from the Ondo APC chair. We must replan inland waterways, Lagos manager and NEWA says. Concerns over online ticketing on Lagos-Ibadan train service. That's interesting because at this moment I'm wondering, okay, everything seemed to be going very well, and now we're hearing this. Hopefully there's a resolution over that sooner than later.
No, this is Lagos-Ibadan train service, not Lagos-Ibadan expressway.
I know. The train service, I've never heard a complaint about the train service. So this is the first I'm hearing about it, and now I'm hoping that it's resolved sooner than later. All right.
On the Vanguard, over 17 million SMEs still struggle to access loans. It's time Nigerians spoke the truth to power, says Obi. Oni hails Peter Obi's youth development drive. Lagos takes delivery of trains for red line system. Senate passes bill to increase justice of Court of Appeal from 90 to 110. On CRR, banks lending curtailed as CBN mops up over 6.96 trillion naira. Declare your asset, US-based Nigerian lawyer tasked Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi. Over to the Guardian.
On the Guardian, economy in rare credit squeeze, and CBN continues with 20-year high interest. Reps ordered resumption of work on Abuja-Kaduna Road. Court orders INEC to publish names of candidates in Edo governor's faction. Retirees lay siege to Defense Ministry over non-payment of benefits. Reps orders, stop inducing and dividing Christians. Northern elders advise APC and Tinubu. APC trying to cause division among Christians, Northern Elders Group alleges. Interesting. Over to this day, Ms. Rubin.
On this day, presidency to states, you can't procure weapons. You can't procure weapons for your security outfits. Lagos tackles delivery of trains for red line rail system. On the PDP crisis, Autumn in double speak says he won't abandon BK. New Senate bills seek CBN governor's removal as board chairman. New Senate bill seeks CBN governor's removal as board chairman. I want to take that again.
Yes, finally on the pen pushing newspaper, the gains of exploring potential in tourism industry, the Ogun example. Court sacked Alero as People's Democratic Party senatorial candidate. And these are the headlines so far this morning, and we're definitely going to be talking to analysts in just a moment. But from the headlines, if you've read or listened to anything that interests you so far, then please feel free to message us. Send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Remember, text and WhatsApp messages only. 0703 175 6537. At the moment, we're joined by our analyst, Buki Femi Ajala, and of course, she'll be doing justice to the headlines this morning. Hello, Buki. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning, newspaper review family. Good morning. It's Wednesday, and I know we're all doing well. We're all doing well. So good morning also, Soto and her team. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. All right, so we're going to take off with this particular one. And as I saw this, I'm wondering, Nigerians, I'm not sure what it is with tribalism sometimes that really gets to us. And at this point of Nigeria being one, I'm hopeful that things would be better, because if it's not already better, then I don't know where we're going from here. I read this headline of the Daily Trust newspaper. This one says, "Our massacre, relocate or repent. Non-indigens in Ondo get warning." I'll take that again. "Our massacre, relocate or repent. non-indigens in Ondo State get warned. So this is basically non-indigens in Ondo State that have been warned to repent or stay clear of crime and criminality or relocate. So they're basically saying this is coming from the umbrella of the Coalition of Non-Indigens for Akiti Season 2, Austin Alaba, that's the same, Austin Alaba Medayedu. And he's saying this in reference to the attack on St. Francis Catholic Church that was some months ago, which a lot of us heard about and saw some very great pictures about, and where 50 worshippers were allegedly killed. So they are saying that the non-indigens support the operations of Amotekun in their bid to ride the Ekiti State, to reach the Ekiti State of criminals, saying that they're ready to provide useful information on the activities of criminal elements in the state to Amotekun. So at this point, they're basically saying that if you're a non-indigent and you don't either give us information that you know about these crimes and criminals, and you don't repent, then you have to relocate. Is this indirectly or directly blaming the non-indigens of Ondo State for the Owa massacre? And do you think this is right?
Alright, so there are many twists to this, but I think we should keep it simple and base it on facts. The reason why this coalition is saying this is simply because by the time they made an X-ray of the profile of the people, well, let's just say those that are suspects, or alleged to have done it, we found out that I think maybe 80%, if I can say, or 90% actually come from a particular tribe, or should I say tribe, or indigenous, or non-indigenous, yes. And it was more like it was located to a particular tribe, I mean, it's everywhere, so anybody can actually investigate and find out what the tribe is. So it's based on that I believe they are now seeing this, because really they are non-indigenous, they're not people from that part, they settled there, and now they're not finding that a percentage of them, I think about 5 or 6 of them were fingered, if I can remember the figure. Mm-hmm. And they were able to spot it to a particular tribe. So it's on that basis that they are seeing this. Now, is it good, is it bad? Now, depending on where you stand, but this is where I stand. I think it's just a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to non-indigens, because they want to still live there. And there's nothing wrong in it. In the Constitution of Nigeria, you are free to live anywhere.
Absolutely.
But then you have to abide by the Constitution. You have to abide by the Constitution. So if I say I want to relocate to any part of Nigeria, I should abide by the Constitution. I should not kill. You understand? And if this now happens, this is where brotherhood, this is where family, because I know quite a lot of non-indigens in states, they come together, they have more like a family meeting and all that. So I see this from that light, that do not let us sing our names. We have been living here, going for some 50 years. That they've been living there. I'm sure that there will be a bit of intermarriage and things like that, and it's good. So how come, should I say, this devil now came into this particular tribe to now say, they now want to carry arms to kill, even in a sacred place, in the church.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the height of it. So I think it's just a wake-up call, that they are saying to themselves, the family, non-indigenous, that we need to trace our step back. And you see, for me, if this was not done with the right intention, rather, you find out that another incident can happen again. because when the first happened, what was done? So it's like, okay, you are giving us a go ahead to do this. Let them investigate. How did this actually happen? How did the thought actually come? What was the real problem? The real issue they were trying, to get people to understand by going into a church and to massacre. Let us not just believe that it's Boko Haram or whatever it is. But is it political? Is it whatever it is? I don't know. Let them be able to nip it, to really go down to the problem. Is it something that they are trying to come up? I mean, maybe there was a problem 30 years ago or 40 years ago or something. I don't know. But let them investigate. Let them do a deep probing of what the problem is. Let them not attach it to political, because there was a time I read that it's political and blah blah blah. Let us be sure, you understand, so that they will know what to do. So I hope it's not an inter-tribal whatever that is coming up, whatever it is. But like to really ask me the question is, I think it's a good direction. It's a good step for them to take. They are talking to themselves, but just privileged that probably a journalist was there, to see that. And of course, if they say, if you do not want to live here in peace, then you can go back to where you are coming from. It's not a crime, and that they are willing, because a majority of them have established businesses that are okay, and they are willing to say, look, if we smell your rats, we won't bring you out. So I think it's good.
All right, thank you very much, Buki. 15 minutes to 8 on Women Radio 94.7. This is still the newspaper review, where we discuss and analyze headlines across the Nigerian newspapers. My name is Simto Titulayo Ajama, and of course I have here with me my co-host Adenike Quadri, and of course our analyst this morning, Buki Femi Ajala. And we're still talking about the fact that there was a message from the Coalition of Non-Indigens telling non-Indigens in Ondo State either to repent of criminality or relocate. According to Buki, this is a welcome development, because it's basically sounding a note of warning to these people, letting them know that if you're involved directly or indirectly with crime, it's better you relocate or just spill the beans, give out the information that you know to the right authorities so that they can handle those crimes. If you have opinions or you want to contribute, please make sure to send a message, text or WhatsApp to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537.
I really like the fact that Ondo states are taking their security in their hands and they are being thorough. And the other time we saw on the headline that about 45 people were nabbed in Ondo states that were, and I think it's good, Ondo state is becoming safer and sane. It's just a case of once beaten, twice shy, or twice beaten, 4 times shy now in this case.
Hopefully it continues to stay safe and sane, as you said.
It definitely will, I strongly believe. Yes. So we have this headline on the Punch, and it says, no state has approval for weapons, says presidency. Now, the President Muhammad Buhari has said that he has not given approval for any state of the 36 states of the Federation to carry, for any security outfit to carry weapons. And he has said that the allegation that Katsina State security operatives have weapons is not true. That anybody of the 36 states, any security operatives that currently have AK-47 or any machine gun any gun at all in their possession should surrender them, that he has not given approval for that. That any state found wanting will be considered an outlaw and be dealt with accordingly. So we're still talking about this security issue now. And it's still not, Yoruba we say, it's not over and done with. So, and now the president is saying that while it looks hopeful that, okay, maybe with all Amotepu is doing right now, they need further equipment to do their job better. And now the president is saying that, nobody will have weapons. And I want to believe personally that if Katsina, if they do not have, nobody will just spring up to say this particular state has I believe yes, out of the group of there are 36 states. Why didn't they say Kano or Abuja? So I want to believe that we should be fair. And okay, let me just take your thoughts on this.
All right, Adeleke, thank you. There are three factors I see here. And like you said, it should be fair. Mr. President had a brand as at the time when he was coming in, and the brand was Mr. Integrity. I do not know if that brand is still that brand. I think it's no longer a brand. It's quite a lot of things have seen it, and he can redress it. Yes, we all had Katsina, and it was all over. What did you do? Because you see, there's a process. Somebody cannot just wake up to have these firearms. There must have been a process. So does that mean that somebody slept off duty to derail the process, and he did not get, to the public orders for Mr. President to come up to say, no, that is not it. Even the utmost would even have allowed, I'm just assuming that, the personnel are now carrying it, or they are ready to procure whatever it is. It should not have even gotten to the point where the public will get to know, or the journalists will get to know if truly somebody is doing his or her job. Now, because this has come to light, yes, I have to say, we also, because I remember then it was a big issue that we want to carry these things, but it was like, no, you cannot. You can only collaborate with, the state police. If you have any issue, get back to them and all that. So it was like, okay, what are you now saying? These people said they are going to carry firearms, and you are now saying we will not. And this is the whole essence. So when he has come out to say no state or no state adult should carry, firearms. So let us see it. If truly Katsina have done something, then you need to record everything. Now, Katsina is now saying that Governor Masari is now saying that, they only asked Civil Defense Training College to come and train their vigilantes now in the handling and operations of pump action rifles. Yes, it might not be AK-47 because they all have their different mechanisms and all that. But for me, it's still firearm. Then the issue is, I hope you're not now trying to change the narrative. I hear you now say that, you only ask them to come and train in handling and how to go about the operations of this firearm. Now, why are you training them to come and handle? Now you are now saying to give support. What does that mean in this language? What does that mean? Is it that, are you saying that just in case a policeman falls under the bullet and an Amoteco officer is close by the policeman, so the Amoteco officer can take that rifle just in case? I don't know. I know how to shoot it. Yeah. You understand? So you need to come and explain what is the thought behind you saying that you want them to come and train the vigilantes on handling if you do not have an intention of equipping them. So that is it. So he needs to come and tell us. So when we are asking questions, we need to ask questions, direct questions. Okay, Mr. Governor, you say it is not that you want to give it to them. Then why this training to handle? Why this training to handle? So that's it. But now, for me, what's so interesting is the fact that Mr. President has said that it is only he can give the National Security Advisor, the go-ahead. So the National Security Advisor will be the one to issue, but upon clearance by Mr. President. So what comes to my mind is, what then did Mr. President and the Security Advisor did when we had quite a lot of stories coming out that X-Men had AK-47? So what did Mr. President and the National Security Advisor do? What did they do? Because they are not supposed to carry firearms. Either you call it a bomb, whatever, or you call it a case. As far as I'm concerned, they're gone. And from a layman's language, I know the experts will say there are different specs and all that it is. But you know, concern us as a layman, they're gone.
Oh, God,
They kill. Now gone, exactly. So what did they do? What was the national response to that fact? Except for the fact that you said, health should not carry, blah blah blah. But we did not see any action. Now people now want to defend themselves. People now want to take responsibility as the chief security officer of their states. And you have not been able to sit down and agree or come up with proper solutions to the security of the nation that you fight for, that you said you want to be, Mr. President. So the issue is, for those who are coming, these are the questions we need to begin to ask them when we begin to tackle them. That it is not just about the fact that you have the perks of the office, but there are problems. How are you going to solve these things? How are you going to solve them? And not an issue of theory. We want to feel that yes, you understand the problem and you understand the solution, the effective solution to it. So all this that is happening is just for us to begin to come up with the right questions to ask these people and come up with our scorecards, because now they're going to begin to reel out their manifesto. They now begin to go on campaigns and begin to say all kinds of things. This is the time for us to begin to craft our questions to them and have a check on that. How are you going to solve this? Do you even understand it?
Okay, but I have a question.
It's 47.
Yes.
So what is Mr. President telling us?
So let me say something concerning that. There's a report according to the NSCDC chief, and this is Ahmed Audi now. He's talking about the fact that he strongly disapproves of Nigerians carrying arms. He says he doesn't think Nigerians are ripe to carry firearms. He said this has to do with civilization and education, particularly even in countries that are more developed, Europe, America, the UK, and all those places. They're trying to control the access to people carrying firearms because of all the events that unfold. Somebody just goes into somewhere and destroys people and kills them. And he says even in Nigeria that there is no rule, particularly, I'm going to quote and unquote what he said here. He says even now that there's no law in existence, you still have there yet to allow citizens to carry arms. And he's about this in reference to the farmer-herder clashes in the country. So I mentioned this in reference to your comment about the herders and the clashes that they've had, and of course as a means of defense to carry arms. So he's saying, I don't think that Nigerians are ready for that because he thinks that it will cause a bigger problem than it will solve.
Yeah, I understand where it's coming from, and I want to take that position on the fact that we are not ready, to carry arms. We know what has happened in the advanced world. Even right now, I mean, a lot of parents are fighting against it, and all that. So that's their own. But can we now look at our own? What we are saying here this morning is, it's not that the citizens want to carry on. We don't even need to carry on if the government is doing their job. But now, particularly for states that want to take responsibility for the lives of their citizens, they are now saying that their community police, whatever, they should carry arms. That's what they're saying. And if you are saying that no, they should not carry arms, then the question is, what did you do when the headsmen were carrying? What did you storm everywhere and to arrest everybody that had an AK-47? Did you? What was that? What was that strategy that you used to ensure that no headsmen will carry out? Did they have any engagement that we are aware of with the Miyati Allah? I'm not sure. But these are questions that are you now saying that it is good for Mr. A, but it's not good for you. And meanwhile, talking about this Katsina, is it not the president's seat? You understand?
It's the president's state.
So, when you are a transformational leader, you are supposed to change values. Transformational leader. You are supposed to change values and perceptions. So, it is an issue of Mr. President that what perception are you making people to see of you? That's it.
Thank you very much.
Katsina was able to say this and you did not shut it down immediately. Now, because our temple of a lot of people, like even the Global Alliance, a lot of people are now talking, and Governor Akeredolu, his stand. He will say, if you did it for Katsina, you must do it for me, because he was focused on this our temple thing. So let the Mr. President ensure that if truly, you are not doing approval for any state, then whichever state, even if it's your own state, do the needful.
Thank you very much, Buki. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you for spending time with us today on the newspaper review.
Thank you very much for having me. Let's have a beautiful day, and it's going to be well with Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Let's just do our own side of the bargain. Let's just do the right thing. Let's do the right thing at all times. Thank you.
Thank you. Understood. And I say this because it's a very important message. Let's play our part to ensure that this situation is actually limited to what it is now and stays that way. And it's completely eradicated, actually, not stays that way. Because if it stays that way, then we're not making any progress. We need to rid our society of any form of violence, basically, because our lives are important. This is still the newspaper review. It's 8 o'clock and we're still discussing headlines across the Nigerian newspapers. You can contribute, send in text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama, and of course I have here with me my co-host Adenike Kodre. In a moment we'll be having our second radio analyst this morning, Nkechi Emmanuel Ayode stage now. And I'll take some of our messages so far. Okay, this one is coming from Evangelist Shego Odeji, and he's saying, "Good morning, Titi, Adenike, and Bukola. Why is life meaningless in the country? The president adopts double standards in his rulings. Now that Governor Akeredolu has challenged the double standard, the president is now singing a new tune. Since terrorists, bandits, kidnappers have been maiming, killing, sacking societies with their sophisticated weapons, what has the president done? Why has he not brought any to justice? What is the source and who supplies criminals arms? Even common herdsmen roam around with AK-47s, 48, 49. What is the value of this government?" And this is coming from Evangelist Shego Oyedeji. I think this lends credence to what Buki just said, talking about the fact that we're not talking about citizens bearing arms now. We're talking about this community policing, this state policing, at least give them given the opportunity to defend their states properly. I don't think I need to say much. I mean, okay, you're 100% on board with this particular idea.
They are registered with the state at least. So they are no ordinary citizens.
Yes, they have the permission of the state to perform in that capacity.
And I still stand on the fact that if without weapons, they can do this 45 that they not so
and more, because I've heard of cases before that.
Counting, yes. So that means if they have weapons, and most times when you see these guys, they don't just jump on people randomly the way policemen do. When they catch the person, they probe them.
But at the end of the day, they still have to hand them over.
Yes, that's it.
Because they're working in town.
And most times you don't just jump on people and you probe them. Okay, what were you doing at this time of the night? Where were you going? Who do you know in this area? So they don't just randomly pick people and then gun them down like that. But if they have to defend themselves, why not?
Thank you very much for that submission. I didn't care. And of course, I have Emmanuel Laide, Nkechi Emmanuel Laide Sage now, our radio analyst here with us this morning. Hello, Sage now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Soto. Thank you, Adenike. Good morning, and good morning to our newspaper review listeners and family.
Good morning, Signal.
All right, so I know you've heard the message that we just read from Evangelist Segun Oyedeji. Buki made a point about the fact that carrying arms for the state policing, or at least these vigilantes, so to speak, because now I think that they're using these terms interchangeably. State policing, vigilante, those are the terms we're hearing so far. So she's saying giving them the right to bear arms and giving them arms, not just the right to bear, but giving them arms to actually arm themselves and defend their state is not a terrible idea, particularly because they need these arms to be able to further defend their state in the face of any form of danger, so to speak. So do you agree with that particular line of thought, or do you think the presidency saying they haven't given approval is something to take home?
In our country, we have got these steps of responsible citizens to an extent. I hope you can hear me.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So you've got a set of responsible citizens to an extent who are willing to use arms in the right manner to call insecurity. This headline, I don't understand it. I really don't understand those things. I mean, so I see the point in terms of the fear for individuals, but at this time, I'm just like in the context of what we are saying right now, right here, what we are all discussing. We're not talking about citizens carrying arms. We're talking about vigilantes for in this particular case, about them carrying arms and responsible citizens. Yes, vigilantes and all these other groups, they are paramilitary, but they are not trained in they are paramilitary, but they are not trained in executive military style. If that is what if we want to put it out there, but you cannot say that they are not paramilitary for the kind of work doing, but it is needed for them to get the necessary arms that they need for them to protect their state. Because clearly, I saw one news that seems like it should say that the presidency is something that they are set to end corruption by December. And just like the analyst was saying, what is wrong with ending the corruption now? What is wrong with ending the corruption in September? What's wrong with ending it in October? So if you are at the space where you are not having these solutions, I think the least thing that anybody can be saying or doing is causing problems. It's rather, you never be creating problems, but hindering solutions. That's what I was looking for, hindering the solutions. You can't just sit at your guarded place and just say, oh, this is not going to work. Nigerians have passed that part because you don't want to say one thing in the newspaper. It's another thing for people to obey. I will just emphasize or reemphasize again by saying I'm not saying that every citizen should now go around saying, yes, I will carry my own cutlass and all that, so I'm going to start carrying guns. But the fact of the matter is, people are going to do what they are going to do, especially if they feel that they are insecure in a particular place. It is for it not to turn into chaos or for it not to turn into some sort of weapon party where people are now misusing the power that they have or the weapon that they have, because frankly speaking, some people are already doing these things. They won't come out saying in newspaper, they will not deny anything, they're just going to go on in their way, they will continue their lives. Or some people are already carrying some of these things for context, especially people who live in these places where one blast has happened or one killing has happened or the other. So it is a dicey one that kind of corporate speaking on it and saying, oh, don't do this, don't do that. But it doesn't really work again. All this corporate discussion can really work when people are seeing solutions for the problems, not just when people are saying talk or they are condemning. If you condemn it, what now happens? How is that going to solve the problem on ground? That's what I think regarding that situation.
Thank you very much, Sejel. Thank you very much for that. It's an interesting point of view that you have there, and I see how it tallies with the current situation. And you have almost the same view as Buki on this one. So yes, thank you for that. Now, in reference to headlines, we're just going to take this one off the Guardian newspaper. And this one says, federal government gets NSAS report 2 years. I'll read that again. Federal government gets NSAS report 2 years after promises implementation. This goes on to say that yesterday the report of the Independent Investigative Panel on Human Rights Violation by the defunct SARS and other units of the Nigerian police station had been, or was of the Nigerian police station had been, or was gotten by the federal government. And it's basically saying that the panel awarded compensations to some victims in view of the mood and anxiety of the petitioners. Now, there's a part there that leads to, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of write-up, but on police indictment, now let me get to this part. Let me start by saying a total of 295 petitions were received according to the panel secretary here in Ubuna. Then 95 were decided on and 33 were struck out. For me, I'm not really sure how this math adds up because it said, okay, 295 were received, 95 were decided, 33 were struck out. It seems like there's still a number that has not been decided on just yet. So maybe there's still a process going on. That's what I'm inclined to believe at the moment. But on police indictment, it says 72 police officers were found wanting in various human rights infractions. It also says that while 25 officers were recommended for dismissals and 15 others are to suffer reduction in ranks. Now, my immediate question, or let me just add this, that the commission also indicated that the dismissals and 15 others are to suffer reduction in ranks. Now, my immediate question, or let me just add this, that the commission also indicated that 39 petitioners of extrajudicial killings got 220 million naira compensation, among others. Now, these 295 petitions were received from 29 states across Nigeria. On police indictment stage now, I didn't read anywhere here that there's anybody that has been put up for trial or anybody that has been arrested and is in the process of going to trial for their participation in this act. Because when you say extrajudicial killings, I mean, just even if you remove extrajudicial, the fact that there's killings there automatically means that, okay, there has to be justice for the people who have been killed. But I'm only seeing recommendations for dismissal. I'm seeing police officers found wanting in various human rights infractions and others up to 15 others up to suffer reduction in ranks. It's worrying to me, and I want to know if it's worrying to you as well, that we're not hearing anything that has to do with the proper legal proceedings that lead to a conviction at the end of the day, particularly to get justice for these people that were killed in this process. Because there were lots of reports, and a lot of these reports had names of police officers included as well. So I'm concerned about that. What do you have to say?
Why the majority of Nigerians are frustrated and they are doing all they can to make sure that we get the country that we were originally supposed to have. I'm not even sure if the word take the country back is correct, because the thing is, how was the country before you want to take it back? But the correct thing should be what should have been the original plan for Nigeria. Let's get to the back to where towards that original plan should have looked like from the very beginning. Even if it wasn't going to right from the very beginning, I think this new generation come up with a leader that will get it right. So of course, that segment that you're already sketchy, confusing. It's just that we have to address it to do on the headline. The numbers are not adding up. Then he said, 222 billion compensation. It looks all over the place. But perhaps this newspaper, that is what they have to work with. So that is what they just put there. It's not really adding up. It just looks like being great statistics for what they do that we do in our Nigerian state. Just snap statistics together, put it together, and just say, oh, this is the budget, or this is the thing. But they are not having it. Nigerians are not having it anymore. Where you just put numbers together, just say something just going on, and then we move on. People have moved. People have exited that track. So regarding the justice, the thing that's supposed to say like, okay, who is this? How did this happen? All of those people that are missing out. So, serious. I doubt that is going to be at this particular time, except somebody writing something with the wing of a new president to say no. So we're not going to keep this as a court case. That means I'm not all the time. When people say, I'm not going to keep this as a court case, well, two things. Either people write something to the point that say, I'm not going to keep this as a court case, or the people who killed or who were part of these things get tired or get frustrated. This happens all the time in history. And I especially love that. When people who were part of the things and the problems get frustrated of hiding and covering, and they come out themselves and confess. These are things that can happen for us to actually get a big picture of this justice. Currently speaking, a lot of Nigerians now are very busy with this election. Let me look at areas where they carry the matter on their head, and rightly so. That's what they're busy with now. So, the thing that people are, rather than using their frustration on what seems like an answer that cannot come out right now, they are using that frustration or channeling their anger, like I said, to get them to do what they can to change the presidency or to just make power right at this. So that is what is going on inside of people. But to understand what can be done, except to get them right, they do push the name there. To really not to just, can you look at what the teacher, your father was in? It should be 2 years ago now, less than 2 years when we had a meeting. Drama, runs around the whole panel foundation of it. Other people started accepting that they are not, that was what they came without you. What they said, I'm not one green, I'm not in the panel. All of these things have been frustrated to all children. And even the only efforts of it all, maybe the factor fire, I think I'm ready.
Right. I think we're having slight challenges with Sagel's connection, and we'll connect right back with her in just a moment. This is still the news review. It's 15 minutes past 8, and we're still discussing headlines across the Nigerian newspapers. At the moment, we're speaking about this particular headline in the Vanguard, in the Guardian newspaper, talking about federal government receiving the NSAS report 2 years after and promising implementation. I'll take some of our messages, and please keep your messages coming in. The number to contact, send your text and WhatsApp message. Please, no calls. We don't take calls. I see the phone lines beeping. Please, we don't take calls on the Mississippi Review. 0703-175-6537 is the number to send a text or a WhatsApp message to. 0703-175-6537. That's the number. Okay, let's try to see if we can choose back. Hello, Sejin, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you much better now.
Can you pretty much, if you can hear me, what I was saying by the sacrifice that has to be greater Nigeria, this particular part can never get back to the situation of
Hello, Sejin.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going. Thank you very much for your submission on that, and hopefully the situation actually does get better, and we actually get proper reports going forward. Because at this point, this is, as you said, this is what we'll have to work with, and hopefully we see the progress of this, and we actually get some accountability on this particular subject. I'm going to read this one. I said this one's coming from additional Wasiu in the corridor. He says, "Top of the morning to you guys in the studio. On presidential candidate for PDP visit to the Southeast Abia State governors absent, and Senator Namani also absent, and Atiku is saying it will be the turn of the Igbo after Atiku's rule for 8 years, and some Igbo elders there were clapping for him. 8 years, and some Igbo elders there were clapping for him. Hope Nigeria is watching." You know, again, this tribalism thing is one thing I'm not yet understanding, but this particular perspective is some, and it's funny when you think about it, because this person is saying, Atiku was talking about the fact that he would rule Nigeria for 8 years, and then some Igbo elders, they were laughing. Okay, let me. We really have lots of messages. We have lots of messages. I wanted to ask you a question, but let me just take the end of Additional's message. He's talking about the CBN increase in interest rate of bank lending. He said this will still bring more hardship to the citizens because Nigerians are already going through a lot of hardship, and it's like there's no hope from all indications. And it says, "God help us in this country." All right, I didn't think.
We have a message from Anderson. Anderson is from Itoki. He says, "Senate to go against salaries and pensions is a welcome development. The Senate must do well to break the dichotomy to pave ways for better pension package. Unlike the situation others earn big, unlike a situation where others earn bigger and some left with peanuts. To be realistic, I want to ask, are these group of workers and pensioners not buying from the same markets?"
Interesting question.
We have another message from Val Okachi, and Val is saying, why is the northern vigilante given go ahead to bear arms, and same privilege is not given to their southern counterparts? This action certainly leaves much to be desired. It shows a lack of integrity on the part of leadership of the country. What is source for the goose is source for the gander. God help Nigeria. We still have yet another message from Damien, and Damien is saying, "I don't know why Ondo residents keep deceiving themselves and others, because it is glaring enough that the Owo genocide was much more of a religious based one than a tribalistic one. If one does not, would never be able to solve the realities. As election campaigns begin today, what the masses should seriously be watching out for, even though they already have their various favorites in mind, is the demeanor of aspirants apart from their manifestos. The focal point should be on the presidential aspirants." And we still have a message from OK Monday. Mr. OK Monday from Arepo is saying, "If Chief Nyesom Wike of River State, let him recover all the looting, money, assets, and property in Nigeria and River State. We care because he's so arrogant." I guess he meant to say we don't care because he's so arrogant and uncontrollable leader. Governor Engineer Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State will... You don't have a right to say this, says the government is saying the governor will regret, and then Governor Piazzo of Abia State is nothing but IPOB governor. And Mr. K. Monday, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much for that. I didn't care. Well, I'll take this one from Messenger Lawalimutiu from Alakbere, who says, "The acclaimed Messiah of the youth who claimed to be a graduate could only submit a GCE degree to INEC, while his deputy submitted a PhD degree." Lubinko said something. Lubinko was an analyst yesterday. Said something about the fact that people need to be more informed about the certificate situation, and then go to the INEC portal or the INEC website to really get informed on it. And Rosenja is reacting to that, saying Nigerians only believe in what they want and not what they should. And more reason, this is the more reason we're getting the kind of leaders that are really not. I think bad followers
is talking about
don't produce good leaders.
I think the person is talking about, I actually saw the person's DLC on Facebook or something. Yeah, so the back and forth. It was actually, I was like, graduated 1984. So when I even saw it, I was like, well, we've gotten to this point that you have to place your certificate on Facebook and.
All right, Station, I'd like to react to this one. This one says, for now, the judiciary, this one's coming from Evangelist Shego Ideje as well, who said, for now, the judiciary seems to have been pocketed by other arms of government. The obnoxious panel set up by the government after damages to the society is mere smokescreen. Until the right and willing leaders are voted for, there's no hope for a saner society. And that's coming from Evangelist Shego Ideje. Now, I believe this is in reference to, of course, the NSAS panel report, and he's saying that this is mere smokescreen after the damages have been done to the society. Do you think the panel report and the implementation strategies so far concerning that report are like a step in the right direction? Do you think there's more to come? And do you think, of course, as I said, it's a step in the right direction? Or do you agree with him that it's more of a smokescreen?
Even if assuming it seems to be a step in the right direction, the thing is that it has taken so long for us to get here. The question is why. What we're dealing with is not something that could not have been dealt with. Okay, let's even say that things are so hard. They could not have been dealt with in a year. So when people see it as smoke screen or like additional text message specifically, it is not one that is far-fetched. And for me, I say it all the time, when I come here to consider review to analyze, it's not from a place of anger or bitterness. I acknowledge from part where people are doing well, the government or the leadership are doing well, which is a strong percentage compared to the places where are not being done well, where we don't have things being done well. But in this particular situation, it's really looks sketchy from the beginning, from the night, from the next day, from every day. The stories that continually was told, we knew that the story was going to change, and these are the gimmicks that will make the story change. So, like the paper out there, like the article on the compensation here and there, I don't think that, because at the end of the day, who are your target audience? That's the first thing to start. It's already clear that the citizens of Nigeria, those are the people that is concerned. Those are the people that we are talking to. You're not to a small select of people. It's not just a group of people somewhere that are talking to the whole citizen. And they don't, at this particular time, they don't seem so, we don't even about satisfied now because people are not, can you hear me?
Absolutely, yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, all right. You don't know what is satisfied is not even to, because not everybody will be satisfied with an action that is being taken. But the word is convinced. There is no conviction, and it doesn't look like there was integrity put into this thing fully. I'm not saying that there was no integrity at all, but it looks like they want to pick up partly integrity, partly let's do what it is that we can't just cover this up. And like I said, things are looking sketchy. I particularly now, for instance, as a citizen, I've seen what has happened in the 2020 incident as some sort of sacrifice for the greater Nigeria, because I don't know how long we want to stretch it and we want to, although it doesn't mean that we should stop, or we want to keep going back and forth to the results, or we want to keep telling stories, or want to keep saying, hey, this happened. At the end of the day, people who were there trying to put in their submission, the streets, and just a few people were actually there, not just people who were bringing cooking up stories. So these people were there, and it looks like it was not quite enough. And yeah, here we are with a lot of talk years after, but even that's where we are. Even that's why people are tired of the land now, Nigeria. A lot of talk, a lot of explanation. Look at us, people are not of the headlines to talk about us. It's the same talk But where is the solution? Where is the action? Where is the change? You are not saying it's just talk on the side of citizens. I need talk in terms of no implementation by the stakeholders who can make this implementation. So, yeah, they will come out to appear like smoke screen because that is the what we have, unfortunately, in our Nigerian system.
I see where you're coming from with that, and of course, you explained it in such a very simple way that can be totally understood. Thank you very much, Sejal. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much. Okay, you want to ask some, sorry, are you making a statement? I'm not sure.
No, not at all. I said please enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you so much, and of course, our amazing listeners. Good morning.
Good morning. Have a good day. Interesting submission by Sejal there. And this is what I call it a wrap, because I feel like if I keep going, I'm not going to round up the newspaper review early enough today. But I do have to say this. I'm not going to round up the newspaper review early enough today. But I do have to say this. It is one thing for the government to say that they care, and it's another thing for the government to show that they care. So I think we're tired of hearing how much. We want to see how much. We want to see it. We want to feel it. We want to be able to see that we can understand where they're coming from and how they can relate to us, because they do relate. So I think more action, less words now is what Nigerians are craving. I didn't care.
I was actually smiling when I saw this message from Rosanger. And I'll just wrap up on that note. It says it's unfortunate that a king could fake his own kidnap despite the many resources at his disposal. Greed, selfishness, and heartlessness is the bane of our societal problem. And until we are able to conquer this menace, nothing will change. I hope any of his offspring is not allowed to take the vacant seat, as a bad father will hardly produce a good child. And I feel that's really sad, the story.
All right, thank you very much for tuning in to the News Preview this morning. And thank you for your contributions, your text messages, WhatsApp messages. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we do what we can in the year 2023. Educate yourself with all the campaigns going on so that you can actually get all the information that you need to make an informed decision come 2023. Get your PVC if you have not collected it yet, so that you can have the ammunition that you need to actually make the change that we want to see. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Thank you, Adenike. Thank you to our analysts this morning, Buki Femi Ajara and Nkechi Emmanuel Aide Sejal. My name is Simto Titilayo Ajamba. Good morning.
Tell him all the music they play.